Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. I have been solving data sufficiency problems for GMAT out of this book here, GMAT Review, the official guide, 12th edition. Excuse me. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it in order to prepare for the test. Excuse me. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you're going to find on page number 274, data sufficiency question number 20. Let's take a look at it. It says in a triangle PQR, PQ is X, alright? PQ is X units long, whatever the units happens to be, whether it's inches or feet or yards or centimeters, whatever it is, it's X units long. QR is X plus 2. There you go. So we know that QR, distance from Q to R, is 2 units more than the distance from P to Q. And then they go on to tell you that PR equals Y. PR equals Y. Well, since they tell us nothing at all, or better yet, they have not told about Y, anything at all about Y, we cannot really ascertain the length of the PR at this point. Question simply is, what they're asking here is, which of the three angles of the triangle PQR has the greatest degree measured? So what they're basically asking you in a very geeky and a very nerdy way is, which is the largest angle of triangle PQR? That's the question. If we can answer that question, or better yet, we don't have to answer the question, if we can establish that we have enough information in either of the given statements, that's what we're looking for. Listen, before I start solving these questions, let me talk about what concept this question actually deals with. This question deals with the proportionality. Listen very carefully. This question deals with the proportionality of the angles in a triangle and the sides of the triangle. So here we go. I was about to say take good notes, which is not a bad idea. It's a good idea to have a notebook, and as you watch the videos, as you learn something new, take notes. That's how you learn. So here we go. In a triangle, opposite sides and angles are proportional. Before we go any further with this thing, what does it mean for two things to be proportional to each other? Let me give you a simple example of it. For example, we're buying, let's say, apples. Here's the price. If you buy one apple, you'll have to pay $5. If you buy 2 apples, you'll have to pay, say, $9. If you buy 3 apples, you're going to have to pay, say, $13. And if you buy 10 apples, you can have all 10 of them for $20. As you can see here, the more apples we buy, the more we have to spend. Here, the dollar amount that is spent is proportional to the apples that we're buying. It's in direct proportional. There's a direct proportionality here. But the dollar amount that is spent is not strictly proportional. What does it strictly proportional mean? He says, in a triangle, opposite sides and angles are proportional, but not strictly proportional. In the triangle, that is not the case. Let me give you an example of what strict proportionality means. Strict proportionality would have meant that here's your apple, For one apple costs $5, 2 will cost $10, 3 will cost $15, and 10 will cost $100. There you go. In this case here, we're talking about a situation of strict proportionality right here. The proportionality is strict. For every one apple that we buy, the amount of money that we have to spend goes up by exactly $5. Whereas in this case, all it says is that the more apple you buy, the more money you have to spend. That is what's true in a triangle. The opposite sides and angles are proportional. In other words, let me erase all of this now. You don't need any of this thing. So what this says here, is that, in other words, largest angle in a triangle will face the largest side, and similarly the smallest angles in a triangle will face the smallest side. For example, let's pretend that this is 90. Well, there's no need to pretend, it looks like 90. This angle is 30, this angle is 60. A, B, C. As you can see, the largest angle in this triangle is angle A, 90 degree. It is the largest one because it's a triangle. And in a triangle, if one angle is 90, the remaining two, neither of the remaining two can be more than 90 because they have to add up to 90. Because the whole thing has to add up to 180. So if this is 90, the sum of these two is 90. Therefore, neither of them can be equal to or greater than 90. They have to be less than 90. So this is the largest angle. Angle A is the largest angle. Angle A is the largest angle, and therefore this means therefore the side facing angle A, will be the largest side. The side facing angle A is side BC. Let's make a note here. Angle A faces BC. Angle B faces AC. And that's a 60 degree, that's a medium sized angle, therefore this is going to be the medium sized side. And finally, angle C, in our triangle the way I drew it, angle C is our smallest angle, and that angle faces AB, so side AB is going to be the smallest one. That's all. And that's what we have to understand here. That's what we need to understand here in order to solve this question. And if you understood this concept, then there is not much in there. Oh, let me go back actually and finish this part that I started here. The opposite sides and angles are proportional, but not strictly proportional. Let me explain to you one more time what that means here. Strict proportionality would have meant, listen carefully, strict proportionality would have meant, they are not strictly proportional, not. Strict proportionality would have meant that if the side facing 30 degrees is 1 inch long, and if the side facing the 60 degree angle is 2 inches long, then the side facing the 90 degree angle would have been 3 inches long. But that is not the case. As you can clearly see, 1 squared plus 2 squared is 5. This side from here to here is not 3. It's not 3. It is root of 5. Root of 5 does not equal 3. This side here is square root of 5. It's not 3. In other words, if the side facing 30 degrees is 1 inch, That does not mean in a triangle that the side facing 90 degrees will be 3 inches. That would have been a case of strict proportionality. That is not the case in a triangle. They're just proportional. So I need room here to erase everything, to erase some things here, so that we can actually solve this problem. So I have to erase it. It can be helped. I'll give you a second actually to pause the thing and so forth if you like. Just give me one second. Alright, let's erase what we have to erase. So question here is which side has the largest angle? Well, let's see what the statement 1 says. Statement 1 tells us that y equals, oh there you go, y equals x plus 3. Statement 1 tells us that this equals x plus 3. Well, that means the side facing, or rather the angle, this tells us, this implies that the angle facing the side, largest side, okay, let me change the marker, this bloody thing is dying. Largest side, the angle facing the largest side, that is PR, will be the largest angle. There you go, we answered the question. Question here was, which is the largest angle in the PQR? The answer is the angle that faces the largest side. The largest side being x plus 3, because this is x plus 2, and this is x plus 3. So this side PR is the largest side. If you want to draw the triangle, it should look something like this. I'm just going to draw something here. Just draw it in a manner that P to Q is x, P to Q is x, Q to R is x plus 2, and the largest side is going to be P to R, which is x plus 3. And therefore, the angle that faces P to R, this angle right here, the angle Q, will be the largest angle. In our case, angle Q. That's all. So the first statement by itself is sufficient, which tells me, we forgot to do this thing here, AD, BCE. You must always write down AD, BCE before you start solving the problem, because that is how you get in the habit of it. Since the statement 1 by itself is sufficient, that tells us that the answer cannot be B, C or E. Answer would have to be A or D. Let's look at second statement. Does second statement tell us anything about Y? Let's see. Second statement tells me that x equals 2. That's all it tells me, x equals 2. Well, based on the fact that x is equal to 2, that tells me that PQ is 2 and Q to R is 4, but we have no knowledge at all about P to R. This is based on the second statement. This work was based on the first statement. Based on the second statement, we cannot tell what P to R is, and until we have any knowledge of what P to R is, we cannot really ascertain as to which is the largest side, and therefore we cannot tell which is the largest angle in the triangle. Therefore, second statement does not have enough information to answer this question, which is the largest angle. Only the first statement. The answer to this question would be A. The answer is A. And that's all. That's all there was. I hope you found it helpful. I hope this was not too much explanation as to what's going on here in terms of opposite angles and sides being proportional, but not strictly proportional. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to get hold of me for personal private tutoring, I do face-to-face tutoring obviously. I also tutor over the internet through Skype, and I tutor over the telephone. It does work. Try it out if you like, or for one session and see how it goes. If you need to get hold of me, go to my website at www.prep.gmat.com and send me an email. Or you can go to www.keshwaniprep.com. Alright? Thanks.